This is the Nightshade Cult, a podcast macabre.
We bid you welcome. Enter freely and of your own will.
I'm Nick Grimm.
And I'm David Graves.
We'll be your horror hosts for this dissection of Don Siegel's 1956 science fiction noir thriller, Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Good evening.
So, this little gem is 70 years old.
Jeez, it's a youngin'.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those ones we were sort of talking off mic about how everyone's heard the name.
Yeah.
More people have seen the remake than the original.
Yeah, it's kind of in that category. This, The Fly, The Thing, these 1950s B movies that kind of like made an impression on a lot of the sort of movie brat generation filmmakers, and then they did an elevated version of it later on. But yeah, because it was the anniversary, it seemed like this was a good reason to look at one of these classics, because I'd never seen this movie before.
Yeah, me neither. This is one of those ones where I'd heard the words, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Everybody's heard Podsheeple.
Yeah, if you say it seems like they were replaced by a pod person, you know exactly what that means without having ever watched this. Absolutely.
And this is one of those ones that I don't know if I ever would have watched it. It's old timey. It's very noir. It's not long, so I'm not going to say it drags, but it is not action packed.
It's not action packed, and it's I listened to the audiobook, and it's narrated by Don Siegel's son, and then he kind of shares some of his thoughts and memories about the movie and his dad and stuff at the end of the audiobook.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how because it's such a low budget film, his dad had the task of making a special effects movie that has no special effects in it.
Yeah, they spent something like $30,000 total on all of the effects, like the pods, the transformations, the whole deal.
Yeah, and it's it does we'll talk more about this, but a lot of stuff is just established by people looking and telling you that something is weird.
Yeah.
Where you're not seeing anything weird at all.
Yeah, an old man mowing the lawn, he's weird.
Yeah, and you're like, I feel tense and uncomfortable, but I don't see anything weird
it's just
happening.
an old guy mowing a lawn. Yeah. So this was made for $382,000. It was considered a B movie, but it wasn't considered like a shoestring B movie.
Yeah.
But it ultimately made more than $2.5 million domestically. So it almost 10 times its budget, especially when you consider its UK release after that. So 10 times your budget, that's a big success.
Yeah, that is a great success. And the movie captured something of the zeitgeist of the time.
Absolutely. It's a political commentary for sure.
Yeah, the sort of McCarthy era paranoia, that stuff that's going on. And there's a lot of things. It is not a modern film, but it is much more modern feeling than some of the other movies we've been watching, because we've been watching a lot of 1930s movies, and you can definitely see how the culture has shifted a lot in the 20 years in between.
Yeah, and I wanted to mention before we get into it that this movie has received some big time accolades through the years. It was entered into the United States National Film Registry in the Library of Congress. It was ranked number 9 on American Film Institute's top 10 in science fiction. This is in American Film Institute's 100 Years, 100 Thrills. This was featured in that list, so top 100 thrilling movies of all time. Yeah. And it's in Time Magazine's top 100 movies of all time, and it's in their top 10 in early sci-fi category.
Interesting.
And a more modern, I guess a web source, because we're web people. Den of Geek. They call this the number 2 best movie of the 50s.
Well, of the 50s.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to look at that list.
I'm not a 50s nerd.
I have got 2 movies from that decade that are of very high esteem for me.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I want to know what their number one is.
Well, and they specifically said that this is unquestionably the greatest film to emerge from the 1950s, quote, Reds Under the Beds era.
I believe that.
Because
it's the only one we remember.
Yeah, because there was a lot of films made both criticizing communism and McCarthyism.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
And this movie gets credited with both.
Yeah.
Oddly. It just depending on who's looking at it. For whatever it's worth, Siegel said that he was not thinking politically when he made it. This is very much a jobber movie. Everyone in this are jobbers, just people that are cranking out these movies, just taking gigs. You look at the IMDb for Kevin McCarthy, any of the players in this, and they've done a million little sci-fi movies.
Oh yeah, for sure. And they're just, these are just people. This is a 23-day shoot. This wasn't like, this was like, oh yeah, I need work. Let's do it.
Yeah. What are we doing today? It's the alien invasion movie. Where are the aliens? Oh, we don't have budget for that.
Yeah, they're imaginary. They're pea pods.
Yeah.
Well, they're not pea pods. You're pea pods. But you never see an alien.
Yeah,
they're
you never see an alien.
Okay, it's a sci-fi movie with pea pods.
Yeah, you see the pod. Yeah, okay. Well, let's hold on to that to talk for when we're getting to the visuals and stuff.
Gotcha.
But, yeah. Well, why don't we roll the music and we'll come back with our dissection. A recently divorced doctor returns from vacation, eager to get reacquainted with his also recently divorced high school sweetheart. Unfortunately for the lovebirds, the other residents of their town are being replaced by alien doppelgangers.
Yeah, it's really simple. And like I was watching this, and I didn't catch the very beginning that Dr. Kaufman and Becky were both divorcees.
Yeah, it's because they talk about their trip to Reno.
Yeah,
because she's like, I heard you took a trip to Reno and blah blah blah, and then he's like, or she goes, when was your trip to Reno? And he says, yeah, about 5 months ago. And I was like, did they just use code words to say they were both divorced? And it's like, it was very odd.
Because they both talk about their spouses, like their ex-spouses, but they don't specifically say ex. And so I'm like, is he like totally hitting on a married lady? Because she's also hitting on him.
Yeah.
Like and they used to date. So this is just weird for a 50s movie. What the heck?
Yeah. The movie was much like hornier than I expected it to be, but still constantly using code words.
Yeah.
Like they would sort of make allusions to spending the night with each other. And
she's at my house, you see?
Yeah. Like his pal Jack, whenever the first night, when Jack and Teddy spend the night over there and they're all kind of having breakfast in the morning. And Jack's like, do you mind having a couple of boarders at your house, or did you have something else in mind? Kind of wink, wink. And it's like they're really like dancing around it, but also being very upfront about the sexuality in a weird way. Yeah,
I guess it was this movie was daring enough to bring it up, but they wanted it to seem, I don't know, somehow scandalous, but they're both divorced. They're free. Yeah. They're free people.
Yeah. It does seem like there's a slightly different like moral rules for them because of the divorce status. They don't have to be, she's not being treated like a precious maiden. Yeah, you know what I mean? They've both been around the block a little bit and can be a little more risque, but you just can't say, I want to go to bed with you, or I am recently divorced and I hear you are too. We should get back together. like that. They can't ever be direct about it. They have to talk about their trip to Reno.
Yeah, I just thought that was interesting. I thought that the characters were pretty readable, and I was like, oh, this is a really simple story. The friends and all this stuff, and then I was like, okay, they're just dancing around it. I guess it must be just a product of the time.
Yeah.
It's 1956.
Yeah. This is directed by Don Siegel from a screenplay by Daniel Mainwaring and based on The Body Snatchers by Jack Finney, which now you can get it as a novel, but it was like a serialized in magazine style, kind of pulp adventure sci-fi. Having read the book, there's a lot of things that were unclear to me watching the movie that make sense because of the book.
Oh, okay.
So I can illuminate some of that stuff now because there's some storytelling gaps in this for me anyway.
Yeah, it's interesting because Siegel, he did build some terror in this, but there's no visible violence, there's no on-screen death, and there's no traditional monsters.
No, not at all.
So none of it. It's all just like shadows, lighting, paranoia.
Just tension.
Yeah.
It's just, and it is like legitimately paranoid and tense. Like as they're trying to flee and like when they're like hiding their car in the auto lot, like, and they put the price sign on it so no one notices it sitting there so they can sneak into the building.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a proper sort of like thriller the way it's built. But if you never saw the Pods at all, there's a reading of this where they're literally just going crazy.
Yeah, they're just mad.
The whole town, there's sort of like a shared delusion that's spreading through the town, and they fall victim to it. Because it shows you so little beyond just their sort of sweaty anxiety.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting that so it seems like madness or whatever, but Siegel never commented on the political interpretations of this film, and he always mentioned it as a meditation on emotional deadness and conformity, and how basically like the world is full of pod people, but they don't even know it, and so he was this was just like a commentary on brain rot.
Oh yeah, and that's the book. The kind of another theme that's in the book that is not as clear in the movie is the sort of death of the small town, like these towns that people just stop going to, which was kind of a big thing in the 50s with the interstate freeways. Certain towns that used to be places that people were always passing through were no longer on the freeway and would just dry up and die. And they kind of use the being replaced by pod people and how they sort of lack any sort of drive at all, and the town just sort of withers and dies after all the residents are replaced.
Yeah, it's really interesting. But I would say, even though Siegel never was political, Daniel Mainwaring, is that how you say that? He's the screenwriter, and he was actually blacklisted for being a leftist during the McCarthy era. Oh. So he's
got a political point of view.
He was a leftist, and he was anti-McCarthyism.
Yeah.
Because he was a victim of it, because he wasn't a communist, he was just a lefty.
Yeah.
And so even if Siegel never said anything about it, the screenwriter did.
It's in the text.
Yeah. It's given.
Yeah, and so we're talking about that. Kind of one of the interesting things is the movie has this framing device of a sort of prologue and epilogue of the doctor in the he's in like a police station, right? He's been picked up by the police, and in the epilogue, someone sees they also see the truck filled with pods.
Oh my word.
Yeah, and the authorities sort of spring into action. The original ending of the film was the scene of Kevin McCarthy's character where he's kind of running around on the 101 freeway trying to get people to stop, and no one will stop. Yeah. And he's like pleading into the camera. It's like, they're already here. It'll happen to you. And that was when the movie ended originally. And the studio insisted on having that framing device with the sort of like the authorities save the day in the end ending. Which totally undercuts the theme of the movie.
Yeah, this is anti-authoritarian. Like, it's the idea that the government will do nothing. The government is pod people.
Yeah, because the police are some of the first people that are replaced in it. So the whole thing is about not being able to trust the authorities. And when he tries to call the police, he just gets left on hold forever.
Yeah, I'm on record now officially as being anti-framing device. I thought the framing device actually weakened the movie in a big way. Like when we first started watching it, and I was just like, "What is this? Oh, it's a crazy guy. Oh, a flashback?
Yeah.
The whole movie is a flashback of a crazy guy?" And then at the end, when it returns, you return chronologically to the crazy guy, the doctor. And then the person takes him seriously and they address the problem. I was like, huh?
Yeah, this
is so atonal.
Yeah, it does not fit the rest of the movie. A framing device is fine when it is built, it's built in.
It's just another tool in the toolbox, but this was ham-fisted.
Yeah, there was a lot of studio interference on this movie.
It's weird for such a small production.
Yeah, it did. I guess it did real poorly in the test screening. The audience couldn't follow the story, and it said the audience would laugh at the wrong parts, and so. The original cut of the film had a lot more humor in it, and a lot of that was removed so that it didn't have the tonal shifts that were built into it. And then the studio, again, it insisted on that framing device in the police station at the beginning and end. And so it's sort of remarkable so much of the tone of the movie stays intact when it has been futzed with as much as it was.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me tonally... sort of like Psycho. But not totally. I mean, Psycho's scarier than this movie.
Oh, yeah. Totally. Yeah, Psycho is scarier than this. I thought of Dark City because of that framing device. Like,
it's all retro, black and white, noir, everything.
And when the studio insists on, you need to have him explain it at the beginning, otherwise no one's going to get this.
Oh, yeah, I hated that about Dark City, because Dark City was pretty good. And
the director's cut way better.
I mean, it's just, I don't know where I'm going with this, except for that this movie, it feels cheapened by the studio meddling.
Yeah.
Because it should actually just be like disturbing.
Yeah. Him, sweaty, freaking out. No one will help him. And truckloads of pods are going out into other California cities. Is such an unsettling, disturbing ending. Like, and if they had the guts to leave it like that, I think the movie would be even stronger. You'd be like, wow, they went for it. Like, they're already out here and no one's going to help us.
Yeah, I mean, and its strength is how you can interpret it either way. Yeah. And it's crazy, like, oh man, the pods are making people into communists. Or the pods are making people into McCarthyists. Yeah. It's just because it's all just about herd mentality and
assimilation and groupthink.
There's just no individuality. Everybody, we've been waiting for you. Yeah. We're glad you're here.
Yeah. And so, something I thought was unclear in the film, but the book makes it crystal clear. Like when the duplicate is finished gestating or whatever, when it's done assimilating the form of the person, the other person's body essentially crumbles to dust.
Okay,
so there's not like
there's some magic going on there.
Yeah, because it's almost like a horticultural transporter sort of thing, like Star Trek. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's transferring the data into the pod, and then once the essence sort of transfers over, the body just turns into dust.
Interesting. It's like it makes a simulacrum of you, and then it uploads you.
Yeah, exactly.
Something crazy.
Yeah, and so, because I was always like, what happens to the people afterwards? And they never address it in the movie.
I always figured they just killed them or something, but it's all off screen.
Yeah, because like Becky, when he goes back to the mine where he's hidden her and she fell asleep and she's been replaced, there's never like, well, where's the real Becky? Like, it's just never addressed at all.
She got potted.
Yeah, because once you transfer over, your body just turns to dust.
Yeah, and I you mentioned sleep, and I think that's a interesting theme in here. How at the end it's like, I don't know, like sleep is it's like an illusion for being unalert, unwoke, you might say. Like,
oh yeah, this movie is all about staying woke.
Yeah, if you fall asleep, you will get replaced because you'll be weak at that point. And wakefulness and sleep are not literal wakefulness and sleep. It's more like vigilance to groupthink and propaganda and all of that. It's like they're trying to tell you don't fall asleep because that's when they get you.
Yeah. Well, and that's true. I mean, it's a great metaphor, and I guess that is why we still use those terms, like why woke is still in the
70 years later
in the parlance now. Which you're right, they wouldn't say woke then, but I don't know what the 50s version of woke is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she just kept saying, "I'm so tired. You got to stay awake." Yeah,
it is interesting. They drink a lot. And he's quick with the amphetamines too, to kind of here just a little amphetamine, let's just stay a little wired.
Here, have some meth.
Yeah,
it was good for Hitler.
Yeah, he's a doctor.
Hitler was a doctor.
not Hitler was. Yeah, it's how much they drink and how quick he is to like shoot people up with amphetamines or sedatives.
He reminds me of a military doc.
Yeah, he's very efficient.
Just give you something. Get out of here.
Yeah,
you're done. Yeah, I really liked this thematically. I think that the storytelling elements are some of the strongest parts of this movie.
Yeah,
because it really was pretty genre innovative, like this whole idea of people replacement in with pod people. It created new American vocabulary, and it's sci-fi, but it doesn't seem like a sci-fi movie. It seems like a noir movie.
Yeah, and maybe that's
sci-fi noir, like Blade Runner.
Yeah, it is totally. And it's maybe we're kind of drifting over into the visuals.
Sure, we're up. That's up next.
Yeah, and I always say if there's movie posters on the wall in a movie, the director wants you to think of those movies.
Yeah,
and when we go to Jack's like swinging bar that he has in his house, he's got noir posters all over the wall for noir movies, and it is a very noir styled film. The cinematographer is Ellsworth Fredericks. It's shot in super scope. It's widescreen.
Yeah.
And it's very much that sort of heavy shadow noir lighting. There's lots of Venetian blind, like peering through the blinds.
Yeah.
There's such a noir thing to the light coming in through the blinds or peeking out through the windows.
They also do some really cool things where you have these big, like, widescreen images, and then they break it up with, like, claustrophobic framing of people and things. And then they also do, like, Dutch angles.
Yeah. And
it's like, okay, these guys were thinking about stuff. They wanted to make the most mood they could with just low tech options.
Right. And I think that's part of why this movie stands apart from the other like 1950s B movies. And we keep calling this a B movie, but I think it was the A movie of its double feature.
Okay.
Like it's not the because that's what we kind of, now that double features are not prevalent, we've lost track of what B movie actually means.
Yeah.
But this was it was billed with another film called The Atomic Man, and I think that was technically the B movie, and Invasion of the Body Snatchers was the A movie, the movie that played first.
Okay. And I think that just going back kind of with the looks of this thing,
yeah,
I think it was really cool that Siegel insisted on night for night shooting.
Yes.
So it's actually dark as fuck.
It's very dark, and it gets darker as it goes on.
Yeah.
Right. Because when he first comes back to town, it's bright and sunny and, and very sort of Leave It to Beaver.
Picket fences and all that.
And the anxiety builds as more and more, like the creeping rot, right? Like as he comes into town, the farm stand is shut down. That's the first thing he notices. And the little kid that lives there at the farmhouse is running away from his mom. And it's like, well, this is weird. And just like bit by bit, the rot creeps in, and the movie gets darker and darker, and then it visually gets darker and as it goes into the night.
I recommended a book recently called Red Rabbit.
Yeah.
And it's like a Western horror, and it's kind of like this, but in the way that things start off seemingly innocuous, and before you know it, there's cannibalism.
Yeah.
Like it's just going downhill.
Well, and like, so this movie, it unravels in a real slow way where Becky comes to see our buddy Dr. Miles, and she's got a friend who is convinced that her uncle isn't her uncle.
Yeah.
And that's sort of, they go over there to the house, and no one else is seeing whatever the friend was seeing, and they sort of just write it off as a delusion. He says, you know what? Here, I'm going to give you a referral. Go see the psychiatrist.
Yeah.
And this doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. He's very good at sort of, he's very progressive that way. He's normalizing getting psychiatric help at a time when that's still kind of very looked down on. But our protagonists, as more and more weird stuff happens, start getting in on the paranoia also with the other people, like until they can no longer deny it. But then the body that they found, Jack has a body at his house, and then that body disappears.
Yeah.
And the cop shows up and is basically like, we found that body, someone burned it in a field. And they're like, oh geez, did we just go crazy last night? We did have a couple martinis before, and they start second guessing themselves.
What kind of martinis are you having where you can find bodies?
Yeah. They legit found a body, but the thing that the body resembled a partially formed Jack. That's the thing where they're like, man, maybe we were just fooling ourselves.
Yeah.
And it was just an average man because Jack's an average man, and we saw what we wanted to see. Mm-hmm. And so they kind of like walk themselves back from it, and then new evidence comes in, and they can't, it becomes undeniable again, and just like it just kind of like yo-yos you back and forth with the tension and the anxiety.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to try to create paranoia back and forth and stuff by having you see something and the actors see it, and then later they show you something different, and then you question, did I see that?
Did I actually see that? Did it actually look like him? Because the camera never shows us the body on the pool table, like clearly. They're looking at it and describing it and telling us it looks weird and partially formed, but that's not clear to us at all in a way that makes us question what they're saying.
Later on, when the doctor has that body and then the cops come and it's not a body, I literally said, fake news.
Fake news. Yeah. Well, that's totally the cops showing up and saying that body got burned in a field. And they're like, hold on, but it didn't have fingerprints. Yeah, it burned the fingerprints off with acid. Happens all the time.
That's normal stuff.
That's normal stuff. You guys shouldn't have been messing with that. And also, why didn't you call me? You're lucky I don't bring you in. And then they kind of are like, we are breaking and entering, and we did find a dead body and didn't call the police.
Yeah, we are kind of in someone else's house. They're pretty cavalier about it. Like,
I did break into my girlfriend's house, kidnap her, and then come back, bring a bunch of people back here in the middle of the night.
Yeah, it's a little crazy.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about how they did the practical effects in this? Because it's kind of crazy. Like,
yeah, the special effects are by Mitt Rice and Don Post, who's uncredited. He goes on to have a long career in special effects.
Oh, nice.
What are you gonna say? What details do you have?
So, like in the pod construction, like there's a reason those pod people look weird and not like exactly them, because the actors had thin. Skin tight latex casts made.
Oh, okay. I wondered.
Yeah, and so they look really weird, and because it's latex casts of the actor's actual face.
Yeah.
And then they submerged it in like very hot material and just kind of made it look weird. And
so it's a little melty, a little smooth.
And the actors were actually like, while they were making them, the actor was partially submerged and they were breathing through a straw.
Oh, wow.
That's how they got a full face done of it. And so it's just, and then later on they treated them to look more pod-like and with the soap and stuff. So, because dishwashing detergent is definitely, that's sci-fi. But yeah, I thought that actually was pretty cool.
Yeah, and legit, like, you know, they've got the cool California outdoor kitchen and there's a little greenhouse over there. And when they discover the 4 pods in the greenhouse and they open up and partially formed dupes of the 4 of them fall out of the thing.
Yeah.
That's legit disturbing. Even though, like, maybe the dummies are not all that convincing, just the idea of it is so uncomfortable. And, like, Miles takes a pitchfork to his duplicate. He can't stab up the Becky dupe, but he can stab up his own duplicate. And it doesn't show it. It doesn't show, like, the pitchfork entering it, but it's very uncomfortable. Like, it's a disturbing image for sure.
Yeah, I didn't find it to be that uncomfortable. I found it to be a little like dummies falling out of a burlap sack.
Yeah, it didn't get you. I guess I was in it at that point.
Yeah, I was so yeah, we'll get to the performances later. But I wasn't ride or die for him.
Okay. Dr. Miles.
Yeah.
Shots fired. Okay.
Yeah, and so I thought this movie, the practical effects were weak.
Very weak.
But the filming and the cinematography, very strong.
Yeah.
So it's like a weird hybrid.
Yeah, for sure. I think Ellsworth Fredericks as cinematographer is saving the day by making this movie look gorgeous.
Yeah, it's like they have like this beautiful noir movie with like some schlocky B-movie sci-fi elements.
Yeah. Well, because the pods themselves look like fiberglass, maybe, or plastic even.
Yeah, they kind of
like vacuum blown
plastic.
They certainly are light because you see people like moving them around,
just hefting them.
They look like they don't weigh anything. But like, there's a shot when they kind of realize, what if there's pods in the trunk of the car? Pull over to the side of the road. There is pods in the trunk of the car, and they get them out and burn it. And I feel like the camera's like sitting very low, like sitting down on the ground, and he lights it with a flare, and they just go up like really fast.
Maybe they were fiberglass.
Yeah, and like that shot is like, it's one of the ones that has really kind of stuck in my mind.
Okay.
On fire, those shitty little pods look amazing. You're like, wow, this is a really evocative image of just like something burning these cheap props. You know, like he's making something beautiful out of what could be trash.
Yeah, it looked like kind of like a magnesium fire. Like they put magnesium on them.
Yeah, because they go up. They're very dry.
But it's also black and white, so it was white because it was white. We don't know how orange it would have been.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that this movie looked really good in some places, but not good in others.
Yeah, it's everyone looks good in black and white. I think that's what Orson Welles said, that there's not an actor alive that doesn't look better in black and white.
Absolutely.
And it just it adds something to the appearance of the movie. Are we moving on to audio?
Yeah, I think so.
The score is by Carmen Dragon.
That's a cool name.
It's a pretty cool name. It's a very generic sci-fi score. Like,
yeah,
I like it. I was listening to it on the drive over. I've listened to it a couple times. If you played me theme from Invasion of the Body Snatchers, I would be like, I think I've seen this movie, but I wouldn't be able to tell you what movie it came from.
Yeah, and I guess at this point, this score sounds generic, but that's because it was so influential. Like,
that's true.
There are like later series like The X-Files and Buffy the Vampire Slayer pretty much ape this whole vibe.
That's true. X-Files for sure.
Yeah, and so it's like it was. I wouldn't say that it was like groundbreaking, but it was its own vibe. And then later on, other people were like, "That's some cool sci-fi stuff."
And that's true. I mean, because when I say generic 50s sci-fi, fair play, this is one of the jewels of that genre.
It's one of the few really good 50s sci-fi.
So it is one of the ones that when someone is doing a riff on that, like you're saying, it's one of the ones they're referencing.
Absolutely.
They're like, I want it to sound like Carmen Dragon. And you're like, oh yeah, I got you. Bombastic drums, melodramatic
some
strings,
low piano, and then some high piano.
Yeah. And then there's also like a romance theme in there for some of their nighttime scenes with each other.
The boning soundtrack.
The boning soundtrack. A lot of like hard pressed kissing, where they really mash their faces together, but their mouths aren't open.
Yeah. They're hurting their teeth.
Yeah. And it's like, it looks great on camera. Keep going. Mash it up. And then the sound is by Ralph Butler and Del Harris. That's probably a recordist and an editor.
Yeah.
It's usually when I look at sound, I have a hard time knowing who to credit because there's such a long list of people. Just two guys.
Yeah, just two.
There's not a bunch of Foley artists. There's not a bunch of mic operators. Two guys are doing the whole job here.
Yeah, and this one does a lot like early movies. 30s, 40s, 50s.
Yeah,
there's a lot of silence because it builds tension, and then it's a really good contrast to when they do bring the sound in.
Yeah.
Whereas today in movies, it's really just wall-to-wall music.
Yeah.
There's almost no silence. So I appreciated that, but it's a sound of the time. Yeah. The most notable sound design thing, I think, is the popping sound of the pods opening. Yeah. That's pretty much what it's known for.
Yeah. They look like seed pods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's, for sure. And there's only, I think most of those pods are solid, but those ones that pop open, the ones in the greenhouse, do have a cool sound.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Alien pods, the Alien movies.
Yeah, Alien. There's a lot of things. There's a movie from our childhood where they are watching that sequence of this movie in it. And I'll talk more about that in the Vault of Darkness time. But that particular sequence is the part of this movie I had seen before. Move on to casting?
Yeah. So we got Kevin McCarthy as Dr. Miles Bennell.
Boy, jobbing-ass actor. This guy, I knew his old face. Because I looked at his IMDb and I was like, oh, I know this old man. I don't know his, 50 years worth of movies that he did, but you have seen Kevin McCarthy in a lot of stuff over your lifetime.
Oh yeah, this guy has been in seriously, Death of a Salesman, lots of stuff. But yeah, I thought that he went from kind of a calm, almost I don't know, like a pervy doctor to a weird frantic to survivor, post-apocalyptic levels of panic.
Yeah,
It's good range.
You can track it by his hair.
Yeah.
Because, like, he's very put together when we first encounter him with his hair nicely coiffed and everything. And by the end of the movie, he's, like, dripping sweat. His hair is all down in his face. And he looks fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And he really goes through it over the course of the movie. I wouldn't call him a pervy doctor. He is just eager to get reacquainted with an old friend. Very eager.
Very, very eager.
But she is also eager. That's the difference between him being pervy or not.
Okay, so he's not a pervy doctor.
Yeah.
He's a horny doctor.
He's definitely a horny doctor.
And it's not pervy because she is a consenting adult lady, and everything's fine. They're both just very horny people.
And the whole town seems to be rooting for it.
Yeah.
As the sort of like, we always knew they married the wrong people.
Yeah.
And so it's about time they took that trip to Reno, and now they're finally coming back here to get together.
Is that where you go to get divorced, like, or nullified, or just...
Yeah, because Nevada always has been this libertarian state, right?
It's a paradise.
So, yeah, sure it is. So you go to Nevada both to get married on the fly and get divorced on the fly.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Why not Vegas?
I don't know. You go to Vegas to get married and Reno to get divorced.
Okay, that jives. That jives.
Yeah, I don't really know. It probably has more to do with they're supposed to be further north in California.
Oh, okay.
Even though it's all shot around LA, it's set more in the Bay Area, so Reno would be the quick spot.
Gotcha. And then we have Dana Winter as Becky Driscoll, the German-born British actor. Winner of a Golden Globe.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love Becky. Like, I really like her, and I like, I like the way she and her chemistry with Dr. Miles. I like her chemistry with her various friends in the movie. I think she gives for a 1956 naturalistic performance.
Yeah, I think that she's really good in this. She was a contract actress. She was just chosen from the list with pictures and said, "Okay, you get the job."
Yeah.
There were other people, more famous people originally considered.
Okay.
Anne Bancroft, Donna Reed, Kim Hunter, but it goes to Dana Winter, and I think she did a great job. Most of the scenes that she was in, she pretty much steals the scenes.
Yeah.
Because she has this kind of... It's a weird dichotomy of believable, regular lady who's also, like, really charming.
Yeah.
It's kind of... I don't know. It's like... It's both. Same time.
So much of the movie is just the two of them being freaked out together. And if one, like...
Or freaky.
Yeah. So they have to, like, it's like, actors always talk about, like, oh, they're such a generous partner. The two of them are feeding each other constantly. And so, like, when you get that moment when he leaves her in the mine to go see what the singing is, and comes back and she fell asleep and has been replaced, and he realizes it as soon as he kisses her and she isn't pressing her closed mouth hard against his face.
Teeth don't hurt.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, that's not how Becky presses her closed mouth against mine. You've been replaced. Yeah, and it's like, and it's sad, like you feel like something is lost there, because she had a certain joie de vivre to her.
Yeah, I thought that she did a really great job.
Yeah.
And then we have the supporting cast, the also-rans.
Well, I mean, King Donovan as Jack, and Carolyn Jones, Morticia Adams herself.
That was pretty cool. She's Teddy.
As Teddy. I like Jack and Teddy. I think they're real fun characters, and Jack's a solid good dude, and Teddy is she's holding it together, man. Like, she's like, my husband has a dead body on the pool table, and I'm not happy about any of this.
So this is a serious question, though.
Uh-huh.
What's a cooler name, Carmen Dragon or King Donovan?
I mean,
I mean, King Dragon would be the coolest.
Would be the coolest name. Yeah. I think I would rather be King Donovan. Although,
oh man, people are like, hey, what's up, King?
Yeah, like that.
I think I'd rather be Carmen Dragon.
I don't want to have to explain to everyone what, like, Dragon, that's a weird last name. Where are you from? I feel like you can get away with King Donovan with less explanation than Carmen Dragon. That invites questions.
Okay.
And I don't enjoy small talk with everyone. I like it with some people, but I don't like it with everyone. And with a name like Dragon, you're going to have it with everyone.
I mean, yeah, if they learn your last name, they're going to be like, whoa, Dragon?
No one is going to let Dragon go by unremarked.
Yeah, but if your name is Carmen Dragon and you don't want to talk to people about it, they're like, name, Carmen Dragon.
Dragon?
You're like, it's Spanish.
Oh, you know what? He's Italian. He's a
it's Italian. It might be.
It might actually be Dragon.
But you just give it some flair and people be like, oh, okay, he's vaguely
How do you spell that? Like dragon, but I say Dragon.
Yeah, but it's foreign.
That's like we used to work with that guy who said his name was Nigro, even though in Italian you would say Negro.
Yeah.
But it's just like there's certain Italian names you mispronounce on purpose.
Yeah, you just say it how you want to say it.
Yeah, so Dragon. Yeah.
There you go.
That is probably how you say it.
King Dragon.
King Dragon. Yeah, what could have been.
Yes.
And yeah, there is a large cast, but it's really those four are your core.
There's 4 people in this movie. I mean, that's it.
Who's the other? Larry Gates as Dr. Dan Kaufman, and there's also Dr. Hill and Dr. Bassett. I like there's a sequence when Miles has taken Becky up to the doctor bar, it seems like.
Oh, yeah.
And the drunk doctors are leaving. And I was just saying, like, everyone drinks a lot in this movie. Like, they're very drinky people.
I mean, drinking has gone down and down through the decades.
Yeah.
The drunkest decade was the 80s, and it's gone down since
It's gone
then.
down ever since. It definitely seems like in the 50s and 60s, because I watched Mad Men, people just drink hard liquor all the time. Like, it's just sort of you come over and you're like, oh, you want a drink? Yeah, scotch. And they're like, here you go. Here's like 3 jiggers of scotch.
It's fingers.
What's the difference between a jigger and a finger?
I think the finger is the measurement. It's how tall in the glass it is.
Yeah.
It's the
But I
height
think
of 3. I've never heard someone say 3 jiggers.
Yeah, when you're mixing cocktails.
Oh, okay.
It's how much you pour in.
I'm practically straight edge. I have about 1 beer a week.
Yeah, when we do this podcast.
When we do this podcast. I don't drink aside from this podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So cultists, get at us with the difference between a jigger and a finger.
Yeah, I mean, aside from finger sounding more socially acceptable.
Yeah, jigger is right on the edge of some really uncomfortable territory.
I'm sticking with finger.
Yeah. Yeah, but you should mix your drinks with the finger.
Well,
That's
unless
uncouth.
it's your drink.
Unless it's just for you.
Yeah.
And he was like 3 fingers of scotch. Swirl it with my
Swirled, not shaken.
swirled with my meat finger.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, one more casting note. Director Sam Peckinpah makes an appearance as Charlie the gas meter reader. So that goes on to be important because he directs like a bunch of great westerns, like The Wild Bunch.
Oh, nice.
And like, so yeah, Sam Peckinpah shows up for just a little bit just to check the gas.
Yeah, just here to read the meter.
Yeah.
Love. So, we got some questions.
Yeah.
What's your personal highlight?
Personal highlight. I guess my personal highlight is probably, I talked a bunch about it. It has got to be the greenhouse scene.
Okay.
That's the sort of like they have convinced themselves that this was all just sort of a bad night. Like they all got themselves swept up and actually everything's fine. And they're having a little cookout on the back porch and they're having a grown-up sleepover where everyone's staying over at Dr. Miles's house.
Hell yeah.
And then pods start opening in the greenhouse, and they can't ignore what's going on anymore, and the movie kicks into gear again. And I just think it's economic with showing you as little as possible, because the more it shows, the less believable anything gets.
Oh yeah,
and you just kind of watch them unravel, in an understandable way, as if like a giant pea pod opened up in your backyard and plopped out a poorly formed duplicate of you and all your friends, you would be unnerved.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that's the highlight for me. What about you?
I had a hard time with this one.
Okay.
Not because the movie was bad, which we get to ratings later, but because it was consistent.
Yeah.
But I ultimately landed on being, I guess I'm a bit of a Dana Winter stan for this movie.
Yeah.
Because the Becky performance really stuck out for me.
Yeah.
Especially the acting when it came to I'm gonna fall asleep, I'm so tired, blah blah blah. And then when she got replaced by the pod person, the acting was immediately different. It's like she's a professional.
Yeah, like she does this for a living.
Yeah, and I was like, I could tell before he even laid that smooch on her. It's like, that ain't her.
Yeah.
Like, that ain't her. She doesn't even stand the same.
Yeah.
Like, your lady and her posture.
Yeah.
Like, that ain't her.
Yeah.
And
true.
so I was like, I thought that hit me. I was like, ooh, you lost her.
Yeah.
Oh, you almost got away, but then you left her. You don't leave your partner behind.
Don't you think that so many times in this movie, every time they split the party, like,
yeah, don't leave her.
Jack and Teddy, you go this way, and me and Becky will go this way, and then Becky, you stay here, I'm going to go this way. And it's like every time you split from someone, then you can't trust that they're them the next time you see them.
Yeah, especially in a pod person movie.
Yeah.
Like in any emergency scenario, splitting the group is kind of a bad call.
Yeah.
But especially in a pod person scenario, you don't split the group, because then you don't know, unless you have like a code phrase or like a smooch.
Oh, but the pod people get all your memories. They know everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they just don't have that same horniness inside them. It's not there.
I would straight up ask you, like, what was your ward's clerk number? And the pod would never know, but I do.
Yeah. Anyways,
teenager stuff. So yeah, that was my personal highlight. So what worked for you?
The noir aesthetic, with the super scope, widescreen, the great cinematography, and the paranoid vibes. The core cast of Kevin McCarthy, Dana Winter, King Donovan, Carolyn Jones. I like those four people very much.
Yeah.
And how freaking resourceful the filmmakers were with very low resources. I'm very impressed that they made a movie that looks this good with so little to do it with.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's what worked for me. What about you? What worked for you?
I thought the cinematography and noir aesthetic and noir directing was top notch. I thought the cinematography and the directing worked really well together, and I was all about it. Like when I was watching the movie, Carrie was busy doing some things, and she came in and out of the room. She's like, watching like a noir movie? I was like, yeah. Watching noir movies. That's cool. I like noir movies.
It's interesting because it's 1956. Noir's already sort of a retro thing, right?
Yeah,
that's more of a 1930s, like a World War II, 30s and 40s. So this is already throwing back to an older era.
Yeah, it's definitely retro. So next up, I liked the runtime.
Yeah.
It's only 80 minutes. It was like 81 minutes or something with credits. And it was economical. It was brisk.
Yeah.
It was sleek. I thought that there weren't many moments that I was just like, chuck it. Like, I would be such a good editor because I'm all about cutting shit.
Yeah.
And there was like almost nothing that I was like, get rid of it. Because every little scene meant something to the plot. To the point where it actually probably was over edited and it needed 5 more minutes there were a couple plot logic leaps, and then you could have used to know that people dissolve into nothingness when the pod pops.
Yeah.
But I call that a win. Lastly, I thought the overall this ensemble performance of the top 4 people, win. All 4 really good. Right. I liked them. I would watch more stuff with just like 2 couples going off doing hijinks.
Yeah,
it seems like it would be good.
It's a good. It's like it's the way a lot of plays are built, right? Where you don't have a big cast in a lot of locations, and it's just interpersonal dynamics.
Absolutely. So what didn't work?
The studio interference with the prologue and epilogue, and to your point, I think they maybe did over trim some stuff out of the middle of the movie. I would like to see something closer to the original vision, and I think the epilogue especially undercuts the themes of the movie.
Absolutely.
I think the movie does a lot of telling you things are weird without showing you that things are actually weird. And I could just do with a little more, a little more the screen, what's on the screen matching what I'm being told is on the screen. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, there's a lot of that, like, well, doesn't it look weird to you? And it's like, it doesn't look weird to me. It should. How hard is it to make something look weird?
Use some filters or something.
Yeah, just something to make me know that this thing is weirder than it is being showed. And then I think there's some muddy, unclear storytelling. Because like you said, they gloss over things without ever giving you that thing where it shows you that the bodies dissolve or whatever the things that are being skipped over. Some of those things really need to be in there. It's not, there's sometimes they don't show something and it leaves a mystery, right? Where it's like an unanswered question. And sometimes it leaves a hole of something that needed to be there to establish what the story's trying to tell you. And that's kind of where I land on this, where I feel like it's not mysterious, it's just unclear. Yeah. What about you?
Just my first what didn't work, exactly what you just said. Plot logic, bad. They cut, and it wasn't for mystery. It was for mysteriously why.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Also, the framing device, so bad.
Yeah.
Like, probably the worst part of the movie was the, I don't know, like, just the opening thing. And then, oh, God, so bad. Anyway.
Yeah, like, I'm going to explain an 80-minute movie to you while I'm here at the bench on the bench at the police station. Yeah. Like, it's not, no one's going to sit there and listen to a ranting crazy man explain all of this.
Yeah. And then lastly, this is very minor, but it's obviously dated with the writing and the performance with regards to like gender dynamics and things. Like, it's very clear that Teddy and Becky are weaker, like more, I don't know, like she's succumbing to sleep and all this stuff, and like more fragile people.
And Teddy especially is just a passenger in this story. Yeah. She has no say in anything.
Yeah, I think that's a little non-modern. It's not a modern movie, of course, but we're a modern audience. And so I think if someone was especially, like if they especially didn't enjoy depictions of sort of a fundamental assumption that the women are weak, that would probably rub them the wrong way.
Yeah, well, for sure.
So yeah, that's what I got. What did you rate this bad boy?
So this is tough. I think it's a very enjoyable, well-made B movie that captures the era that it's from very well. I've sort of like, I'm at a 3.5 on it, and so I need to get off the fence on one side or the other. And I think you could make a strong case for this being a 4, and obviously a lot of people have consider it very highly. But I'm more comfortable getting off the fence on the 3 side on this one. I kind of walked away with a sort of 3 feeling about it. Yeah. A lot of times before we record a podcast or even just after the podcast, my head is like spinning with all of the stuff I want to say about it. It really wasn't for this movie. Like, this movie hasn't stuck with me in a big way since watching it. It's sort of like, well, that was fun. And then it just sort of drifted away for me.
Yeah. Like some of these old movies, they like haunt me for days.
Yeah.
Like when we watched, like, especially like the Werner Herzog Nosferatu.
Yeah.
I couldn't stop thinking about it.
Yeah, because it's very evocative for sure.
So I mean, I felt very similar to you. Like, whereas I was like, I was entertained. It's a classic. Do I give it the 4 because it's a classic and influential, or do I go with my gut in that I only kind of enjoyed it?
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna say I kind of enjoyed it. If you're really into sci-fi stuff, like maybe this is your jam. But it's one of those things where it's like, I think there are more iconic early films that carry the mantle. And ultimately at the end, when there's like, they're showing the trucks filled with pods and stuff, you know, and I'm just like, okay, this doesn't scare me at all. It's just, I get it. I understand. It's a really, like, I can summarize your political message in about a second.
Yeah, and I like it. I like your political message.
Stay woke. Literally done. Yeah. Stay woke. Yeah. Don't fall asleep. Don't be a sheeple. Yeah. Like, we get it. Both sides of the spectrum say that. Don't let them fool you. Fake news. Don't be a sheeple. Yeah. Be woke. They're righty lefty buzzwords for the same idea that this movie was encountering.
Yeah.
But this wasn't like a crusher for me. Like, I was sort of like all right, that was cool. I wonder if the remake is better.
Well,
that was what I was thinking.
Stay tuned for next episode when we watch that one.
Yeah, so here's what the people think.
Yeah.
Of course, Rotten Tomatoes, 98% gave it positive ratings.
Yeah, because you're not going back and watching a movie from 56 to take a shit on it.
Metacritic gives it 92 out of 100. That's universal acclaim. IMDb, with 58,000 votes, it's a 7.7.
Okay.
Letterboxd, probably the most credible of these. 3.9. So we're a little lowball.
Yeah, well, and like I said, it's a 3.5. To me, this is a 3.5. I think it's better than a 3, but it just doesn't quite crack the 4. You know, like, it's just not. It's almost there.
Yeah, if I liked it more, like, obviously, if you go back and you look at the compilation of how I rate movies, it's really all about how much I like it.
Yeah.
So this is a 3.
Yeah, it is. When you're on the fence, it's just, you know, I think if you're listening to this podcast, we've mostly said good things. That's how I feel about it. I feel like it is a good version of what it is.
It's kind of simplistic. It's a little cheesy. It's a little basic. It's enjoyable, but it's not like something you're going to leave and be like, whoa. Like, do you remember the first time you saw The Matrix?
Oh, yeah.
And you were just like, the fuck? What?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. The
like,
Matrix.
You're like looking at your hands.
The Matrix like rewired your brain.
Yeah. This didn't rewire anything.
Yeah. You're like, that was good.
Okay, cool. I don't like sheeple either.
Yeah. And since finishing the book, I have not thought about it again. That's I don't know if this would have been a different podcast if we'd recorded it like a week ago and it was fresher in my mind.
Yeah, I got sick, so.
But it's not like, it's not so unfresh that I feel like I couldn't recall the movie when we're talking about it.
It's really straightforward.
Yeah, so. I know. I got the whole plot, you know, but it's just pretty good.
Yeah. All right, so we justified enough. Let's take a break and we'll come back with The Vault of Darkness.
Before we delve into the Vault of Darkness, we ask that all initiates of the cult follow us on your favorite social media platforms at Nightshade Cult.
If you've enjoyed this content, help us grow the cult by sharing it with like-minded people. Leave us a review wherever you listen, as well as a like and a comment if you're listening on YouTube, because that's our dominant platform pretty much by far.
Yeah, and, you know, several of the cultists, Cultist James, Cultist Lance...
we've got some ride or die homies.
Yeah, Cultist Rob. You know, you guys have been commenting on the YouTube videos.
Thank you so much.
We really appreciate
that. Because of you guys, not to get too much on the social media stuff, because of the comments and the likes, our number one source of new listeners on YouTube is from the algorithm.
Yeah.
Because things get recommended to people when others interact with it.
Yeah. And then we get those little notifications like so-and-so subscribe to your channel. And you're, oh,
heck yeah.
I do one. Yeah.
Heck yeah. And we're going to quit our jobs soon.
Yeah, we're not quite there. I don't think
next year.
We're not even at the level to be monetized.
No, we're not monetized. That's why we don't much care about a lot of things.
Yeah. Do you have any dark tidings?
Nope.
This will be stale information by the time this podcast drops, but the great Udo Kier passed away. Dracula and Dr. Frankenstein both.
That's rough.
Yeah, he had a long career, was always very weird and very interesting in everything he was in. So, yeah, R.I.P. to Udo Kier.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's roll the dice.
Let's roll for initiative. I left my dice charging on a 20. 20! Ooh, yes, it worked!
All right, you go first.
All right, so as you know, because Nick is a true buddy, I've been writing a vampire book, and he read the first one. I'm writing a sequel to it already.
Right.
And I'm going to publish it after I get more beta reader feedback. So stay tuned, listeners. And if any of our cultists are interested in a beta read, just drop a comment somewhere, and I will fire you off a copy just for being elite early adopters.
Okay.
It's a vampire book, so I've been very busy, self-imposed.
Right.
But there is something I've been wasting my time on other than imaginary vampire worlds.
Okay.
It's a YouTube channel.
Interesting.
I don't even know how I fell into it. So I got it recommended through the algorithm because it's some manly stuff.
Okay.
And then I started watching the video. This fella has 84 episodes of this vlog.
Okay.
I've watched them all since we last recorded.
Okay, that's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's called Wild Homestead.
Oh, I wonder if I've watched this.
So the guy's name is James Aloff. He is this is his blurb. I'll read you his blurb. I left the big city to build an off-grid homestead on 40 acres of wilderness in Canada. My name is James Aloff, and I'm a big city human, having grown up in Toronto and spent 10 plus years in Los Angeles and Beijing. I'm a fish out of water in the wilderness. I prepared for this journey by going on backcountry backpacking trips and reading log cabin building books. That's it. It's literally about this dude who is like an actor and a TV host.
Yeah.
Who gets 40 acres of backwoods Canada wilderness, like in northern Ontario. And he starts building an off-grid homestead from literally nothing. He's like clearing the land. He has nothing in the first arc, I guess, the first year, the first winter. He eventually buys like a quad so he can drag logs.
Right.
And like mill his own wood and stuff with a chainsaw jig. It's called an Alaska mill. It's riveting, not just because the content is interesting. It is interesting. But because James Aloff is interesting. He's a history fan. I'm a history guy myself.
Yeah.
So every video, his videos are like between, I'd say 40 minutes to an hour. And he does like a 3-minute history lesson. He'll talk about like a historical person. Like he has like a Roman thing hanging in his thing. And so he gives a lesson on like Romulus and Remus and then multiple like other famous Romans. And then he talks about these Germanic tribal leaders. He's genuinely a history buff. And I enjoy that part of it. But also, he's really good at video editing. Yeah. The videos are good. Like, it's not, like, boring. He keeps it interesting. So, his skill as a video editor and a YouTuber and literally a professional TV host for 10 years, he's good at talking to the camera.
Yeah.
So Wild Homestead is hella good. Like I now am on the every week on Saturday when a new episode comes out, I'm watching it.
Fascinating.
So I know you may not be into wilderness or homesteading, but if you have ever enjoyed any sort of slice of life content, that's what this is. It's literally slice of life content. He gets a dog. You are there as he raises the dog. It's pretty good.
I've watched more log cabin building videos than you might imagine. Yeah.
Well, I know you pretty well, and I know you've done some horseshoeing videos. You're into some slice of life.
Yeah, like I do enjoy some, I don't know what not down home, but like country sort of. Yeah, country living.
So yeah, I think that this one, like I've watched a few others, and there's another one, Runner Up, Cabin Mountain River, very good. But Wild Homestead is the best in the genre. It's the best for my time. Anyway, what about you? What are you pulling out of the darkness? I know that wasn't sneaky people or spooky or anything horror related, but it's just
right?
good. No, he has like a Swiss Mountain Dog.
Okay. There's a picture of a wolf on the channel.
Yeah, because Romulus and Remus, who suckled from a wolf's teat, that's his mascot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what about you?
So I alluded to this earlier. There was a film from our childhood where they're watching Invasion of the Body Snatchers, specifically that scene in the greenhouse. And that movie is Gremlins from 1984, directed by Joe Dante.
Love me some Gremlins.
Yeah, and I think I recommended The Burbs when we did our episode on The Howling. And of course, the other Joe Dante movie that I love besides The Burbs is Gremlins.
Yeah.
It's the first movie I remember seeing twice in the theater, where we went and saw it, and I had to see it again. I was just obsessed with it, and I would beg to go and see Gremlins again. So I managed to see Gremlins twice in the original theatrical run.
Wow, that's insane. I didn't even see it once.
Oh, God. I
saw it on HBO or whatever it was for a million times.
Yeah. I love this movie so much. It's my favorite. This episode will drop well after Christmas, but it's December now when we're recording it.
It is a Christmas movie.
And this is absolutely a Christmas movie. It's my favorite Christmas movie.
Oh.
And the climax of the movie takes place in a Montgomery Wards.
Oh,
which
man.
is, as it comes up occasionally, David and I used to work at a Montgomery Wards.
That's where we met.
Yeah. And so, like, there's just so many, like happy memory buttons that go off, member berries that I eat when I watch when I get to watch Gremlins. And so, like, when that scene happened, and obviously I picked it for my highlight of the movie, it's because I've seen that scene so many times from Gremlins. It's like Corey Feldman and Gizmo are sitting there watching that scene on a little black and white TV. And so, yeah, Gremlins has been on my mind since watching Invasion of the Body Snatchers. And so, there's pods in Gremlins also. The Gremlins pop out of pods too. So there's a thematic connection there.
Yeah, I think that's a really fun connection and way more appropriate than my homesteading videos.
Well,
but
you do both.
He could be in a pod. Who knows?
Or he could have a little mogwai out there in his cabin.
Absolutely.
That'd be a good companion for him, probably.
Yeah. We'd like to thank you for joining the Nightshade Cult.
Until we meet again, we're wishing you unpleasant dreams.